Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dear Diary, the Self-Love Podcast. Today, I'm going to take you through what I like to call my self-love checklist. And basically, it's what I do on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day. And it's helping me cultivate that self-awareness that we talked about a few episodes ago. And you can do this in the morning. You can do this after a long day at work. You can do this whenever you're shifting from like mom mode to wife mode, or from work mode to home mode, or maybe you're just feeling sort of your energy's being drained or your day went sideways. You can check in at the end of your day. Like, this can be done at any time, and it doesn't take a long time. And so I'm going to run you through it now. It's just like a little check-in because it's important, right? We sometimes are so busy doing the things and wearing the hats and checking the boxes, and we're committed to all of these tasks, and we do all of these things, and it's like sometimes we just forget about ourselves. So it's really nice to kind of like do a little check-in, okay? So I invite you to do this with me right now, and we're going to go through it. And so as long as you're not driving, and if you are, you can still breathe, but close your eyes and take the biggest breath that you've taken all day in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. And again. And one last time. Now I want you to notice, what are you feeling right now? Name it. Put a feeling to it. Put an emotion to it. What does it feel like right now? Are you stressed? Are you anxious? Are you happy? Are you peaceful? Are you frustrated? What are you feeling right now? Name it. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to figure it out. Just name it. And then I want you to check into your body, right? Like, our mind's going to tell us 1,000 stories of like what this is, why we have it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, no, we're not doing that. We just want to sort of name it. We want to bring it to the surface, right? We want to be aware of it, become aware of it. And now I want you to check into your body. And if you have to take a couple of deep breaths to continue to do this, right? And I like to do this. You can do this in any moment, driving, while doing the dishes, like whatever. The more you do it, the better you will get. But sometimes it may take some silence. Go to the bathroom, shut the door, walk away from your kids, like really check in with yourself. And tell me, where do you feel this in your body? This thing that's alive inside of you right now, where is it in your body? Do you feel it in your chest, or your back, or your head, or your neck, or your belly? What is the sensation? Do you have butterflies in your stomach? Do you feel nervous in your belly? Is there tight or tension in your back or your jaw? Where is this? And what is the sensation? What does it feel like? What is the texture? What is the flavor? Is there a color? Is there a sound? Is there a smell that's associated with? Like, just get curious about it. Again, you're not trying to solve, you're not trying to fix, you're not trying to judge. Just becoming aware of what's alive inside of you right now, in this moment. Not an hour from now or an hour prior to, but right now. And then once you notice that, and you've brought it to the surface, and you've acknowledged how it feels inside of your body, what it kind of feels like, what the emotion is that is associated with it, now I want you to ask yourself, what do I need right now? And I'm serious. Ask yourself that in your head or out loud. Take a deep breath. What do I need right now? How can you honor yourself right now? Maybe it's taking a nap. Maybe, and this is a big one for me, maybe you need to drink some water. Sometimes our days just get sideways and we end up like spinning and turning into these crazy people. And then I'm just like, when it happens to me, I'm like, okay, I gotta take a drink. I'm dehydrated. Oh my gosh. And then I gulp water and I feel so much better, right? So maybe it's something so simple. It doesn't have to be a big thing, right? Like maybe you're like, what do I need right now? I need a fucking vacation. Okay, girl, I got you. But what can you have right now if you can't have the vacation? What can mimic that feeling of peace and calmness for you, right? That a vacation would give you, maybe. I don't know. So, what do I need right now? How can I honor myself? And then you got to fucking do it, right? Like, come up with something reasonable, but then you have to do it. You can't just be like, well, I really would like a nap, but I can't do that. Okay, well, what can you do, right? Can you take 5 minutes? Can you take a 20-minute power nap? 20-minute power naps are like my jam. And I never used to be a nap person. So, finding out what it is that you need and how you can honor yourself. And even if it's during a busy day and you've got a lot of things going on, it doesn't have to be something elaborate. It can literally look like, I'm just going to pause for 5 minutes and I'm going to take some breaths and I'm going to re-ground and center and focus myself. Maybe you need to eat. Maybe you need to step away from this situation. Maybe you just need a fucking hug, right? Go ask your kids for a hug or your husband or whatever. And then in this, I sometimes, depending on if I'm feeling some resistance with this, right? Sometimes it just flows right through and I'm just like, I need some water. I need some lunch. Oh, I feel so much better, right? If I'm feeling resistance with this, I ask myself a few things. What am I trying to fix, control, manipulate, change, or solve? And if I'm trying to do any of those 5 things, we have a problem. Okay? Because you're not here to fix. You're not here to control anyone else but you. You're not here to solve all the world's problems, even though I know sometimes you think you should. Manipulation of people, places, things, situations, your behaviors, that's never a good thing. And you're not here to change things either, right? Like you can shift through things, but you're not here to change other people's behaviors or other people's situations. Is it something you can change within yourself? That's a different thing. So really look into that, because quite often when I find that my day went sideways and I check in with myself in this way, if I'm feeling resistance or if I'm still struggling or if I'm just feeling like, what is this? 99% of the time, I'm trying to fix something. I'm trying to manipulate something so that it doesn't feel so bad, or so that I don't get so stressed around it, or so that, to control something so that I'm no longer anxious about it. So ask yourself those questions. And if you are trying to fix, manipulate, solve, control, or whatever, stop. Nothing good is going to come from that. What if you just took a pause to whatever the thing is that you're trying to fix? Just take a pause. Step away from it. Zoom out from it, if you will, and see what's there, or don't, and just stop. Go back to honoring what felt good. Go back to what you need. Because what you need right now is not to control and manipulate further. Because obviously that's not working, right? That feeling in your body, I'm sure it wasn't peace and joy if you're trying to fix or manipulate something. And then ask yourself these 2 questions. What can I say yes to that I need right now? Or what can I say no to that I don't want right now? So let me give you an example. When I was homeschooling Brennan and it was a really stressful morning and he didn't want to do the work and I had calls to go to and, we're just like we weren't in sync. I would go through this checklist. What am I feeling? Frustrated. Where do I feel it? All over my body. Do I have a headache? Yes. What do I need right now? I need a break. I need to walk away. I need to take some breaths. I need to drink some water. How can I honor myself? By doing those things and giving him some space so that he can do whatever he needs to do. Am I trying to fix or control something? Absolutely. I'm trying to control the way my day goes, the way his behavior is, the things we do, the way I respond, all the things I'm trying to control, right? So we stop that. What can I say yes to? I can say yes to having more patience. I can say no to allowing this to continue. I can say no to homeschool for the day. Sometimes we would have such a bad morning that I would literally say, okay, we're done for right now. We're going to take a break. I need you to regroup and go do your thing. I'm going to regroup and go do my thing. And if I happen to have something that was on the agenda, we'll come back to this later. I'm saying no to homeschool right now. Right? Maybe it's saying no to a family member or a friend. Maybe in the saying yes and in the saying no, there's a boundary that needs to happen. There's a boundary that needs to be made or needs to be, what is the word I'm looking for? Needs to be honored, right? We're going to talk about boundaries. That's a whole separate call. That's a whole separate podcast. But maybe something's happening there. If you're feeling like you need to like solve this situation and you're feeling tension and you're just like, I don't like this feeling, maybe you need to say no to someone that you love and set a boundary. Maybe you need to say yes to yourself and ask for help or support. Maybe by saying yes to yourself about X, Y, and Z, that is going to be setting a boundary for yourself. Right? Because we can set boundaries for other people, but we also set boundaries for ourselves. And more often than not, they're for ourselves. So, with all of that being said, what's the last thing? You need to take action. What were your discoveries that you just found? What came up for you? How did it feel? What did you need? How did you want to honor yourself? Now you need to take action. You can't just do this and then be like, okay, well, I'm just going to go about my day. Because that feeling, that sensation in your body, that need for control, it's just going to keep happening, right? You may have paused it for a short while, but if you don't take action on the things that felt good and you don't honor yourself in the ways in which you need, then you're just going to keep going on that loop cycle. So, breathe, notice, honor yourself, say yes, say no, set boundaries. You are fucking worth it. This, again, I said before, this is something that I do all the time. It's a little check-in. It's a little check-in, and it doesn't have to be a lengthy process, right? Like on average, when I do this, sometimes it takes 2 minutes just to like take a breath, figure out what's going on, figure out what I need, and kind of move through it. And what it does, it's kind of like skipping, the record skips, right? When you're running on autopilot and you feel like your day went sideways, or maybe you even had a really great day. This doesn't have to be when you're like feeling down in the dumps, right? This could be when you've had a really great day at work and you get home and you transition into like mom mode. Maybe you want to like celebrate your day. Like, I kicked ass today. How am I feeling? I'm feeling on fire. I'm feeling lit up. I'm feeling inspired. What do I need? I need to celebrate myself. I need to give myself a hug and a pat on the back. Maybe I need to have an extra dessert, or maybe I need to have dessert tonight, or an extra glass of wine. How can I honor myself? Boom, I'm going to do some self-care tonight and take a bubble bath. Maybe I'm going to Netflix, like whatever it is. It doesn't have to always be like damage control mode. Sometimes it's fun to celebrate the wins too, right? What am I trying to control in that situation? Well, nothing. I just ran my day like a boss. What can I say yes to? Celebrating me more. What can I say no to? Anything that doesn't look like that day that I had today, because that felt good. Any boundaries you need to set? Yeah. What kind of boundaries could you set to make yourself have more days like that day that you're celebrating, right? So it's really just checking in to see what's going on inside of you, to get out of autopilot mode, to kind of pause things, take a break, and just notice. This is what's going to help you become self-aware. And self-care like this, where you're just like checking in and honoring yourself and doing what you need, it shouldn't just be for Sundays. You should have some form of self-care. Maybe it's a checklist like this. Maybe it looks like something different, but you should have that every single day. Something to put yourself first and to acknowledge what's going on inside of you. Because if you don't, that's how our days go sideways. That's how we keep riding on autopilot. That's how we go into burnout mode. That's how we end up pouring from an empty cup and getting frustrated with anything and everything that's in front of us, right? Check in with yourself. What's going on? How are you feeling? Name it. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What's the sensation? What's the texture? Where do you feel it in your body? What do you need? How can you honor yourself? What can you say yes to? What do you need to say no to? What are you trying to fix? And where do you need to set a boundary to give your life more peace, more ease, more joy, more flow, more happiness? And then take action. That's it. I love you. I hope this helped. If it did and you use it, reach out. Let me know. I would love to celebrate your wins for you. I would love to hear a success story, an aha that came from this. Really anything. Just reach out. Always reach out. I love it when y'all slide into the DMs. Anyway, I hope you have the best day. And until next time, always remember to put yourself first and to love yourself unconditionally, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Have a good day.